Okay everybody, welcome back to part 5, the finale of our Metroid 2 playthrough, where we have to complete and destroy all 39 Metroids without use of the beam, although obviously the last one has to be destroyed with use of the ice beam before the missiles, and if you don't know why, read up on that. Anyway, getting back into the game here, we have 3 Metroids left, 2 of them being Omegas, and of course the Queen Metroid being the last one. When we left off in part 4, we took out one of the Omegas in section 9, leaving 2 remaining. And if you look down at our missile count, we have 110, and we know we need about 40 or so to get rid of an Omega, so we have more than enough to destroy the remaining 2 Omegas with enough left over for error. So we should be okay. We've moved down the shaft over to the right, and we're going to encounter our first Omega Metroid right over here as we get over the bubble glass pillars, as I will call them. This one here is in the midst of some water, and this one's not too bad. It's pretty much the same as the last one we fought, so we just have to get on a level tier as it, if that's possible. Probably over on the right side of the screen would be nice, but thankfully we're getting a pretty good rhythm and pattern right now. And you just got to do a lot of the same as you've seen previously, and yeah, stand on the right side of the screen if you can, and boom, just wail and ram into them with these missiles here. It's fait accompli, as we like to say. Just keep on shooting them, and I really dislike how both this one and the Zeta Metroids can go into the wall and clip in the ceiling and the floor. It's just extremely stupid and cheap, but hey, whatever you got to do to get ahead in life, I suppose. But that's one more gone. We have one more Omega, and obviously the Queen. Now the final Omega Metroid is going to be over to the left and down, and it's fought the same way as the other one that we just took out. We do need to take note of our health. We did lose an energy tank on that last exchange, but it's not going to be too bad. If we can destroy this last Omega, I know for a fact there is a missile, well, not upgrade, but there is a missile refill and an energy refill as well. So we just have to stomach and get through this very last Omega, and it should be home free all the way to the Queen Metroid here. So we're going to go down, and we're going to go all the way over to the left. We have one more glass pillar shaft, so to speak. And it's pretty much, as I said, the same way we took out the last Omega here. We have 56 missiles. We have more than enough to take this one out with a few to spare. So let's just have at it, have some fun, and let's see if we can take this one down without dying here. What's going to happen? There's the hatchling pod. Where is the last Omega? Right over here to the left. And as you can see, the layout is pretty much the same as the last one. The only difference is that there is an opening, a pod to stand on the left here. And let's see if we can take it out with little effort. And so far, so easy. I wouldn't say easy, but definitely not as difficult as I thought it would be. Just a lot of shooting, and once again, trying to clip into the wall, being cheap as hell. But whatever. It is what it is, as I always like to say. Doing pretty good so far. Let's see if we can nail him from behind. Oh yeah, we got him. There's no way he's going to get us now. Boom! 18 missiles to spare, with only one Metroid left in the game, and we all know who that is. We're about to see the earthquake signaling we can now go to the final Metroid. So let's make a beeline for her, and let's take out this Queen, and let's complete this Pro Challenge. Yes, I know technically we've gone as far as we can possibly go, but I feel really bad just leaving the Queen Metroid all to herself, thinking that she's won. So no, we're going to go ahead, we're going to take her out, even though technically we've done everything we possibly can up to this point in the game and the challenge. So the way you get to the Queen is you're going to have to do a little bit of backtracking, not too much. You will have to go up this vertical shaft here until eventually, well, yeah, here we go, over to the left. And continue going left. Eventually you will find an area where you can go down. So we're going to go up just a little bit here. And moving over into this room on the left where we have some more glass bubble pillars here. And we're extremely close to this hole we have to drop into, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it's coming up right over here. Here we are, and we're going to drop down into this hole. And this is officially going to enter us into section number 10. We're going to go down a little bit, a very linear path, much like all of these later sections are. Just keep on following it. There aren't going to be too many, if any, regular enemies we have to destroy, so just keep following the path all the way up and around until eventually you will come to the game's final save point. And from there on in, we're just going to refill the health and missiles and make a beeline for the Queen, and hopefully we can take this thing out with very little effort, or minimal effort. So yeah, just keep on spin jumping your way up here. It's not a whole lot to talk about, not a whole lot to see. You're going to be seeing that one stupid Metroid blinking its way over in the bottom right corner. To my knowledge, I don't think you're going to have any regular enemies here. Maybe one or a couple. No, in fact, there are none up until the very penultimate room, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now here you're going to have some pools of water that are completely safe to drop into, although why would you want to? There's no point. Now basically you're going to be moving up and around in a snake-like pattern, first over to the left, then the right and left, and so on, until eventually you get to the final save point. The way this is going to work, and you'll see very shortly, you've got to pay very close attention to the floor once I get up to this section right over here, right on this floor. Now pay very close attention to the floor. You're going to see some black rocks that kind of blend in with the water underneath. Very hard to see, but right there. Look very closely. If you go down there, I'm using the spider ball to demonstrate, you will fall through the floor and go down to the next level. Thankfully, with my spider ball, I can go back up here. But I'm going to drop down just to show you what happens if you weren't paying attention. So, pay very close attention when you are snaking yourself up and around, because if you don't, this section is not difficult because there are no enemies and no ways to take damage, but it is certainly very annoying and bothersome. And if you're on the borderline of getting a particular ending, this could cause you to lose that particular ending. It really just depends on how much of a stickler you are for time. If you only care about beating the challenge, who cares, right? So just keep space jumping your way all the way across. We're going to have one more section to go over to the left and then the right, and I think we will be at that final save. We shall see. Checking my mini-map right now. Yep, just to be safe, we're going to spin jump up and around, and then, yep, see exactly what I'm talking about, that black stone. It is a false floor, much like the days of Castlevania 2. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, yeah, you know exactly what I mean. So just keep on spin jumping. Not a whole lot to see here otherwise. It's very, very simple. Just keep on jumping, and that's really all there is to say here. Eventually, we will get to the final snake section, and we will approach that final save, and we will see exactly what the end game has in store for us before the Queen. Well, you can pretty much see what the end game has in store. It's a whole lot of nothing. Hopefully it gets a little bit more tricky, because this is kind of boring, I gotta say. Space jumping all the way, there's our final save point. Now, if you want to save, absolutely go ahead. If you don't, and you're feeling daring, jump up, and this water has different buoyancy properties, if you want to say. Now, this is a space jump all the way up to the top, so you can do a couple things here. You could, in fact, space jump, but if you want to be a smart player and get the energy and missile refills, hint, hint, you do, then turn into the spider ball, go to the far right side of the room, and roll yourself all the way up to the top as I'm doing here. Don't worry about that enemy. It's not a real enemy anyway. Keep rolling all the way up. You're going to come to an alcove turnaround here. Just continue to stay as a spider ball. No need to fear, no need to worry right now. Keep going up. You'll come to this tube here, keep going, and here we are. Here is the final missile and energy refills of the game. Make sure you obviously get them both. And we're going to go into the penultimate rooms with 240 missiles and a complete set of full energy and 5 energy tanks. That's about as good as you can hope for. I think we only missed one missile tank in the entire game, which is not that bad. By the way, if you need the ice beam, this is where you would get it if for some reason you got here without it. You have one final chance to get it. If you've already got it as we do, then just ignore this. Keep spider balling yourself over to the left, and you will come to, as I like to call, the penultimate stage of the game here. Now, we're going to jump ourselves up once it's safe, and we're going to move in to what is the Queen Metroid's lair, apparently. Are we going to move over to the left? Yes, we are. And here we go. The music is starting to get a little bit more ominous here, but let's see exactly what's in store. We are switching over to the ice beam because we are, in fact, going to have to take out some Guardian original Metroids here. Oh, what was that we just saw? Well, as we jump back up there, there is an egg, and the Queen Metroid has been busy since we've been away and destroying all of her spawn. And look at that, 8 more Metroids have been created, and we're going to have to take them out. Now, this is where the ice beam comes into play. Switch over to your ice beam. That is a traditional Metroid. Ice it, and then shoot it with 5 missiles. You're going to have to do that with all 8 of the Metroids that have spawned here. So, if you're a math genius, 8 times 5 is 40. You will need a minimum of 40 missiles on top of the other missiles that you'll need to take out the Queen. So we've taken out 2 of them, 6 more to go, and that's really all it is. It's the same as you would have seen in the original Metroid here. Just lure the Metroids out into the open, freeze them, shoot them with 5. Very, very simple. Now, there may be an occasion where the Metroid will leech onto you like this. So what do? Do you bomb it? Well, yes, you could. Or you could just simply leave the room, it will disappear, and it will give you another chance to take out the Metroid. Now, what you might be thinking is, why don't I just run ahead and ignore the Metroids? Well, unfortunately, as I've told you many times throughout the course of this challenge, you cannot get to the Queen unless you take out these Metroids first, and it does involve freezing them because you can't shoot the missiles at them if the Metroids are not frozen. So, yes, I know what you're thinking. Just skip them. No, the developers thought of everything here. By the way, if the Metroid does happen to leech on you, you can do a screw attack just like this. Now notice that my health is not going down. That is by design. The screw attack will keep you safe and allow you to get away and keep your health intact to an extent. So do this if you have to. Conserve on health. Start going backwards, backtrack a little bit. If this happens to you, it gives you another chance to freeze the Metroid and shoot it with more missiles. So thankfully we're in a really good spot right now. So we have 209 missiles if my reading of the ugly font is correct, and it is. So we have 2 more Guardian Metroids plus the Queen. Now this one also not too difficult. Just freeze it, shoot it with another 5. And I believe the last one down here will be more of the same. Unfortunately, we caught it a little too high, so I'm going to let it unfreeze. There we go. And boom, just like that, all of the 8 Guardians are gone. We are now at the room right before the Queen Metroid. There's the final earthquake of the game, signifying it is time. You can hear the Queen. She is angry. She is waiting for us. A room of spikes. Jump over with your screw. Go down in the hole. Prepare yourself. Here it comes. The Queen Metroid right there on the platform over to the left. Now, I've already mentioned this, but 150 missiles will be needed to do the trick here. Obviously, you need to shoot as fast as you can. There is no invincibility frame for the Queen, thankfully, so rapid fire will get the job done. Unfortunately, you can't stand on that left platform because she gives you very little room to do so. Moving left and back and forth, it's not going to happen. When those projectiles of hers get fired, try to jump them. They're not too hard to dodge, but do what you can here. No sense in wasting missiles trying to shoot them down. You will get lucky from time to time, and you'll freeze her in place and be able to shoot a ton of missiles into her. There are no invincibility frames that she gets, so who knows, maybe you'll be able to slam 10, 15, 20 missiles into her at a time. But once again, 150 missiles will do the trick. If you, for whatever reason, don't want to use missiles, or God forbid you run out of missiles, you will have to utilize a bomb. So what can happen is, you can let her swallow you as a ball, and then when she takes you in, you drop a bomb, and it will do significant damage to her. You do it, what, 3-4 times or so, and it will immediately destroy her. Now, that is more risky because you will be taking damage as you're inside the Queen, so if you have the missiles, take her out the old-fashioned way. And, look at this, 20 missiles left. Hopefully we have enough to get the job done, and I'm pretty sure we do, but we're getting dangerously low here on health and missile counts. I really don't want to have to resort to rolling into a bomb and a ball to take out this Queen here. Let's see if we can do it with 5, 4, 3, 2 missiles left. Wow! Are you kidding? We took out the Queen with exactly the amount of missiles that we had in our arsenal. We did not have to roll into a bomb one time. You could not have scripted that better. That was incredible. Alright. Wow, I don't know what else to say there. Move forward. You've probably seen the ending of this game before. Move forward. There's the baby Metroid. All you really have to do at this point is just escape the planet, and again, this is not part of the challenge, but because we've come this far, we may as well see it through to the end here. Plus, we also want to see what ending did we get. Yes, that's true, there are multiple endings you can get for the game, just like the original Metroid, depending on how quickly you beat the game. And I've got a pretty good feeling about the ending that we're going to get, but I just want to see it through to the end. It would be a shame to play through all this much and put all this effort into the game and not know how efficient we were at beating it and completing it. So we will just go all the way. Thankfully, Mr. Baby Metroid is doing his job and clearing all the crap out of the way for us, so we will just continue to move. Nice thing is there are no more enemies left in the entire game because we've taken out everything that needs to be taken out here. And I think we're good. Once you get out here, back onto the surface, just continue heading over to the right, and you're going to jump over some hills and some plateaus here. Eventually, you will come up upon your spaceship again, and you can just drive and dive into the spaceship. 3 more hills, and we're good to go. So once we get back to the spaceship, I will just zoom past all the credits. We will see our final completion time, and we'll call it a day here. We'll knock another challenge off the list and drop it into the books, as we always like to say. So that's going to complete challenge number 2 for Metroid 2, Return of Samus. We are all good to go. Let's go ahead and fast forward through the credits and let's see that ending we got. And then we can put a nice shiny bow on this game. All right, let's see. What was our final ending time? 2 hours, 21 minutes, which gives us the best ending. Not too bad, considering my very first playthrough of this game was blind. I am very excited. Thank you guys, as always, for watching this. Take care. We look very forward to the next challenge.